Puppet Master 3: Toulon's Revenge is a 1991 fantasy horror film from director David Decoto. The movie opens in stock footage stand. Major Krause is going to visit Dr. Hess. Please get these clamps off my nipples! Hess is working on a serum that'll bring back the dead so he can use them as meat shields. Unfortunately, his subjects haven't made it past 5 minutes. Rare footage of a Nazi puppet enthusiast. Just then, the dead guy gets up and attacks the doctor. Rule number 49. When meddling with the undead, it's always a good idea to strap them to the table. So this is how the Nazi zombie outbreak happened. Krause shoots the zombie and saves the doctor. Over at the stage show of Andre Toulon, and wait a minute! This movie's a prequel to Puppet Master 1. Puppet Master 1 opened at the Bodega Bay in America in 1939, where Toulon was hiding from the Nazis. Puppet Master 3 takes place in Berlin in 1941. Anyway, Toulon and his puppet 6-shooter are unloading on Puppet Hitler. I can't decide, does 6-shooter look more like Ernest P. Worrell or Sporticus? Backstage, the children are talking to Toulon.
Peppermints everywhere, look. It's a good job you put plenty of candy into Peter's pocket.
Oh, Hitler, always hiding candy in children's pockets. Lieutenant Stein confronts Toulon. What's with his voice?
I wonder if they laughed so hard as they truly understood what they were watching.
I'm going to turn you over to the Gestapo, ha ha! Stein wants to know how he controls the puppets without wires. He goes outside to spy on some hot puppet action. He sees Toulon injecting the puppets with a serum that gives them life. He takes pictures of the puppets and gets so excited he falls over. Later that night, Toulon gives his wife a very special present. Her own puppet. If you want to survive to the end of a movie, never say this.
I'm never going to leave you.
Stein's showing the pictures to Krause and Hess. Kinda hard to convince someone the puppets are moving by showing still frames.
It seems as though these wooden figures are walking about on their own.
Okay, I guess not. Krause is going to alert the Gestapo about Toulon, but Hess goes over his head and calls General Mueller. Oh God. I just had lunch. It's like the baby oil scene in Mitchell. Mueller tells Krause not to torture Toulon so Hess can work with him. They cut to some stock footage of, isn't this the exterior from Laverne and Shirley? Toulon's talking to his wife when... Nobody expects the German Inquisition! Hess takes the serum and Elsa tries to stop him but gets shot. They take Toulon and the puppets and go back to headquarters. While in the truck, the puppets fight back. Pinhead takes out the guy in the back while Tunneler kills the driver. The truck goes out of control but thankfully crashes into this large pile of empty crates. Mr. Bond! One of the soldiers goes looking for the missing truck during a fog storm. Good grief, the fog wasn't this foggy. He finds the dead soldiers and reports back to Mueller.
You ought to be congratulated, Krause. Herr Toulon has escaped your custody.
More stock footage. Krause searches Toulon's place. They don't find anything, so they burn it down. Toulon heads back to his house, and hey, didn't they just burn this place down? Back at Hess's lab, he's researching the serum. Aha! Orange juice and tangerine juice mixed with green food coloring. Genius! This summer, opening for Ramstein. Pharmacy! Toulon's raiding the pharmacy and finds jars filled with leeches. He heads to the morgue where Elsa's body is and sends in the puppets. Once they kill the mortician, he retrieves a part of her brain so he can make her into a puppet. Toulon creates a new batch of serum and brings Elsa back to life.
Oh, I'm back from the dead. What sort of cool puppet powers are you gonna give me? Hey, what are you doing with that leech? Oh, why?
If you've been keeping up with the series, his wife is Leech Woman. Although here, she kinda looks like Kayako. Stein drops off Krause and goes to work on the car. He then decides to play fun with Hitler. I remember when Hess did this. The puppets find Stein and team up to take him out. Hess uses the serum to bring back someone who shot himself in the head, so he can do it again? Okay, I see the gun wasn't loaded, but why give it to him in the first place? A soldier picks up Krause to take him to see Stein.
There's Lieutenant Stein.
Dead, sir.
Oh, he's dead all right. So dead he can't stop twitching. The soldiers find evidence that Toulon was at the pharmacy. Krause comes in and yells at the actor, who doesn't have any lines.
Find him!
Toulon finds a bombed-out building to set up residence in. Mueller goes to a whorehouse, and Toulon sends Spider 6-shooter in after him. Oh, HD. Showing us the puppet wires. I'll spare you the sex scene. 6-shooter shoots Mueller, and a completely different person falls out the window. Toulon heads back to the building, and finds Peter and his father hiding from the Gestapo. Hess shows Krause where Mueller was shot. If this is the same place, then why isn't the window broken? Peter's talking to Toulon when some soldiers show up. Quick! Hide in plain sight! The guard walks in, looks right at them, and walks out. I'm not kidding. Look as Peter walks away. This is exactly where the soldier was a minute ago. Peter's father sees there's a bounty on Toulon, so he goes to turn him in exchange for his family's freedom. Peter goes to get some parts from Toulon's house. Hess has been getting shit-faced in his lab. Look at that yard glass. Peter's gathering Toulon's things when he hears Hess, so he hides. Hess finds Peter in the closet and convinces him to take him to Toulon. So Peter says,
I can't tell you exactly.
Then he takes Hess right to him. Hess talks to Toulon. Toulon explains all the puppets used to be his friends that were killed, so he brought him back as puppets. I'm pretty sure they wanted to continue living as people, not as a dude with a drill on his head or a woman that vomits leeches. Peter's father takes Kraus to Toulon. He goes in to get Peter first.
Get away from my son. No.
Get away from my son or I'll hit you with this broken ruler. They get out and the Nazis go in. Pinhead takes out a soldier and Hess grabs his gun. These guys are both standing right in front of each other and neither scores a hit. Tunneler burrows into his ankle, which makes him fall over. Elsa then drops leeches on him. Hey guy, your arms are still good. You know you could move out of the way? You could also close your mouth too and never mind. Kraus kills Peter's father and Peter escapes. 6-shooter shoots one of the Nazis.
He's done with.
I'll show you who's done with. With Hess dead, Toulon puts him into his new puppet. Toulon heads back to the auditorium and, wow, least effective fire ever. Peter finds Toulon and wants to help him get Kraus. So here's the plan. An elderly gentleman, a young boy, and some puppets are going to break into the office of a high-ranking Nazi officer. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Toulon and the puppets hang Kraus and drop him on an axe. It seems like an overly elaborate way to kill him. Was this Jigsaw's idea? Stock footage? Toulon and Peter catch a train to Switzerland and eventually make their way to America, which leads into Puppet Master 1 in 1939. And even though it's 3 years in the past, Toulon gets significantly older. The movie was written by Courtney Joyner and directed by David DeCoteau. It was shot in 18 days with an additional week of second unit. At the time, Paramount was distributing the Full Moon films. DeCoteau produced Puppet Master 2 and received a call from Paramount, overjoyed at how well it was doing, and that they wanted Puppet Master 3 as soon as possible. DeCoteau was working with Full Moon's Charles Band on Trancers 2 at the time, and they discussed what they could do for Puppet Master 3. Joyner, who worked with Band in the Empire days on Prison, was brought in to write the script. He suggested they make the film a prequel set during World War II. He wanted to make it like the old British World War II adventure films. The Full Moon feature subspecies had just finished filming in Romania. They wanted to film Puppet Master 3 there, but due to some political turmoil, it wasn't a good idea. DeCoteau suggested filming the exteriors at Universal Studios. Full Moon was still a relatively low-budget studio, so they could only afford to shoot 2 days there. The scenes they shot were on the same stages as the 1931 classic, Frankenstein. DeCoteau worked with Richard Lynch on Trancers 2 and brought him in for Puppet Master 3. 6-shooter was originally supposed to be a black metallic robot, but Joyner suggested they make him a caricature of Americans. The building ruins were the remains of a steel factory in Fontana, California. This same location was used for the opening in James Cameron's Terminator 2. Since this was a prequel to the series, DeCoteau and Joyner thought it would make sense to explain the origin of the puppets. General Mueller was played by Walter Gattel, who was General Goggle in A View to a Kill. Famous screen queen Michelle Bauer played the prostitute. The shot of 6-shooter climbing the wall was inspired by the Outer Limits episode, The Zandy Misfits. They brought back many of the puppeteers who worked on the previous films. David Allen returned to do the stop-motion work. They screened Puppet Master 3 for the executives at Paramount, and it was shown to a packed house. They loved it, and it went on to be another hit for the Full Moon brand. At the end of the movie, they added the tagline, "When bad puppets turn good." While the puppets were heroes in Puppet Master 4, it wasn't a continuation of the prequel like people hoped. While Puppet Master 2 is still my favorite of the series, I can understand why people love 3. With Guy Rolfe, Richard Lynch, Ian Abercrombie, Walter Gattel, and Sarah Douglas, the film has arguably the best acting in the series. The movie does have a mean streak that works well considering this is supposed to be Toulon's revenge. The extra days shooting on the Universal lot really helped to increase the scope of the film. Also, the use of the World War II military vehicles greatly helped the authenticity of it. While some folks say that Puppet Master 3 is the last good Puppet Master, I'd say it's the last great Puppet Master. The ones after this fluctuate in quality. Some are good, some are bad, but none of them are able to recapture the magic of 3.
Have your car ready. Have yourself ready. Have your asshole ready.